3, 2, 1. And we are live. We're not actually live. I'm recording this and then I'm going to post it later. But I want to talk about my first book sale online. How I got there. And this might be a shorter podcast than most. This is just more of a fun little short story. But it's always good that I check in every day. I like the rhythm. So I remember my first book sale. I created my book by dictating it through a phone. I started with that. I hired somebody to write the book. A transcriber to take my audio. Cost me a couple $100. And you're probably thinking, well, why didn't you just write the book? Well, I was recovering from eye surgery, so I thought it best that I don't use a screen. There's 100 pages. Just a little under. It's just a book about overcoming struggle, and just a book about my life with a number of chapters related to important endeavors in life that I've come across based on my experiences thus far. So I put that all together with my voice, chapter after chapter, 12 days straight of me just recording. And there's about 7 hours of audio by the end of it, and sent that over. I had the transcriber put it together. Decided, well, how am I going to get this out to the world? Am I going to put it on my blog, or am I going to put it into a book format? Well, I took the audio and published it as podcast format, but then I also took the transcribed text, decided to turn it into a book format as well. And then I put it up on Amazon through their Kindle Direct Publishing program. So anyone can self-publish work, whether it's writing or children's books, which I like to get into. So I just published this book on Amazon's site. Put a nice cover on there. Black and white, pretty simple, but it's my style. Anyone knows me. And I decided, well, how is anyone going to find this? It's in a sea of millions of other books. So I decided to just get on Twitter and start communicating with others and start interacting with others and helping others. And I had my link to my book in my Twitter profile. So the book was easy to purchase because it was in my Twitter profile. You can choose what link to have, whether it's a link to your website. I decided, well, hey, grab a copy of my latest book, and then here's the link. So anyone that goes to my profile will see the book, and then they'll go and they'll check it out. And I got talking with somebody from the UK. We had great conversations back and forth, talked about travel, life, and then, you know what happened? He went to my profile. He clicked on the link. He supported me by buying my book. Not once did I mention that I had a book. Not once did I even talk about my own products. He just naturally bought from me. And this was incredibly powerful to me, that selling isn't a one-way approach. Selling is social in that you shouldn't even be trying to sell anything. so I find this really fascinating to me, that people would just buy my stuff without barely knowing me. And this guy is just talking to me for a couple minutes on Twitter. And before that, I never knew who he was. And he doesn't even know who I am in real life. He just sees images of me. And he liked the conversation. So he supported me. And that was my first sale online. And even though the title of this is selling my first book, I find it fascinating that I didn't sell anything at all. So the moral of the story is, don't sell, just be yourself. Because selling isn't yourself. Selling is this contrived effort to get somebody to do something for your benefit. So I don't know if that's the best approach. Somebody bought a book from me because of my personal interaction with them. So I'm thinking, this is the way to do it. That I shouldn't be in somebody's face. I shouldn't be annoying somebody with my links. And that this approach is much better. To just talk to people, to engage with them. You can connect with 100 people on Twitter right now and start having conversations. And a great number of them will perhaps follow you. And then follow what you're putting out. But broadcasting what I'm doing shouldn't be salesy, is what I learned. And that's how I'll get the next sale of my book, and the next sale, and the next sale, and the next sale. It's creating content like this, sharing my stories with you. That is how I will get the next sale and the next sale. And it's not going to happen maybe through this, but it will happen through the next podcast or the next one after that. And if you have a book and you're wondering why it's not selling, maybe you're not having enough conversations with people talking about life, just talking like a genuine human being. So to all authors, I hope that maybe this inspires you to try to get your first sale by not being salesy, but just being yourself. I was ecstatic when I got my first sale, thinking whatever I did here, I need to replicate many times over. And that should be my life. So instead of waiting for that next sale, what are you doing to talk to people? What are you doing to have real conversations? That's something to think about. Until next time, this is Trev signing off. Cheers.